This journey begins in confusion and self-blame, where pressure feels heavy, personal, and impossible to control. You learn that nothing is wrong with you. You were simply untrained. Step by step, awareness replaces shame and skills replace helplessness. Through disciplined practice, chaos turns into clarity, and calm becomes something you can create on demand. By the end, pressure no longer breaks you, it sharpens you. You move from reacting to life to regulating within it, standing with an unshakable nervous system and the quiet confidence of someone who commands their inner state in a demanding world. You are not weak, you are overloaded. Every day, pressure hits you from all sides. Noise, speed, expectations. Your body stays alert even when nothing is happening. Your heart beats faster. Your thoughts never slow. You try to stay calm, but inside something is always tight. This is the invisible war inside you, and most people never learn its name. You tell yourself to relax. You tell yourself to be stronger. But your nervous system does not speak words. It speaks signals. And right now it believes you are under threat. Emails feel like danger. Deadlines feel like attacks. Silence feels unsafe. So your body reacts before you can think. You snap, you freeze, you overthink. Not because you are broken, but because your system is exhausted. Pressure is not new. Humans have always lived with pressure. What is new is how long it lasts. There is no off switch, no real recovery. Your nervous system was built for short storms, not endless noise. So it stays stuck in survival mode, always ready, never resting. This is not weakness. This is overload. When you live like this, calm feels far away. Focus feels impossible. You blame yourself for reactions you never chose. You think discipline is the answer, but discipline without regulation becomes punishment. You push harder and your system pushes back. The war gets louder. Here is the truth that changes everything. Pressure is not your enemy. Your reactions are. Pressure can sharpen you or shatter you. The difference is training. An untrained nervous system sees pressure as danger. A trained one sees it as signal, fuel, information, power. Right now, your body decides before you do. That can change. Calm is not a personality trait. It is a skill. Control is not luck. It is practice. When you train your nervous system, you stop fighting yourself. You stop leaking energy through panic and tension. You begin to respond instead of react. Think of a moment when pressure took over. Your breath became shallow, your shoulders rose, your thoughts raced. That was your system trying to protect you. It did not know the threat was only a moment. It only knew intensity, and it chose speed over clarity. Imagine another moment. Same pressure, different response, breath steady, body grounded, mind clear. You still feel the weight, but it does not control you. You control it. That is the power you are meant to access. This audiobook is not about escaping pressure. It is about standing inside it without breaking. It is about teaching your body that you are safe, even when things are hard. When the body feels safe, the mind becomes sharp. When the mind is sharp, action becomes clean. You do not need to become someone else. You need to return to yourself. Beneath the tension, there is calm. Beneath the noise, there is control. But it must be trained slowly and consistently, like strength in a muscle. This is where ownership begins. You stop asking why you feel this way and start asking how your system learned it. Awareness turns chaos into clarity. Once you see the pattern, you can change it. You are stepping out of confusion and into command. Not force, not suppression, Training, the kind that builds trust between you and your body, the kind that turns pressure into an ally. This is the beginning of mastery, the moment you stop fighting the war inside you and start learning how to win it. Most people live their entire lives thinking calm is something you find after success, after the problem is solved, after the noise stops. But the noise never stops. Life keeps asking more from you. If you wait for peace, you wait forever. Calm must be built before the storm, or it will never appear inside it. You may feel tired without knowing why. Sleep does not restore you. Rest does not feel deep. This is the cost of a nervous system that never stands down. It keeps scanning. It keeps guarding. And over time, it forgets how to relax. This is why small problems feel heavy and simple tasks feel hard. Your system is carrying yesterday into today. There is nothing wrong with you. There is something untrained. And untrained systems always react the same way: fast, loud, emotional. But trained systems become quiet under pressure, not numb, not cold, present, available, strong. Training begins with respect. You stop forcing calm and start creating safety. You stop demanding control and start earning it. Each small moment of regulation teaches your body a new lesson. You are not in danger. You are capable. You can handle this. As this journey continues, you will learn to slow what feels urgent, to soften what feels sharp, to stay open when your instinct is to close. This is not weakness. This is strength with precision. You are not here to survive pressure. You are here to use it, and it starts now. From this point forward, you move with intention. You listen to your body instead of fighting it. You begin the shift from reaction to regulation. Each step builds the next. What once controlled you will soon support you. The war becomes training. The tension becomes signal. And this pressure, finally understood, prepares you for the calm that follows. This is where control replaces chaos and discipline begins to feel natural and earned. Chapter 1. Why you break under pressure. Pressure does not create weakness, it reveals it. Or more truthfully, it reveals patterns you never chose. When pressure rises, something ancient wakes up inside you. Your body moves before your mind. Your voice changes. Your breath shortens. You either push forward too hard, pull away too fast, or freeze completely. Fight, flight, freeze. These are not character flaws. They are survival habits. You did not design them. They were trained into you slowly, through stress, through fear, through moments when being calm was not an option. Your nervous system learned one lesson again and again: react fast or lose control, and it listened well. Under pressure, your system does not ask, "What is the best response?" It asks, "What kept me safe before?" So you repeat old reactions in new situations. You raise your voice, you shut down, you escape into distraction. Not because it works, but because it feels familiar. This is why pressure feels personal. It touches the deepest wiring in you. Stress narrows your vision. You stop seeing options. You stop hearing reason. Your world becomes small and urgent. All you can feel is now. This is survival mode. And in survival mode, authority disappears. You lose access to choice. You lose access to patience. You lose access to the part of you that thinks clearly. This is not because you are incapable. It is because your system believes time is running out. Think of a moment when pressure hit suddenly. A hard conversation, a mistake, a demand you did not expect. Your body reacted before your mind could catch up. That reaction was learned. It came from a time when reacting quickly mattered more than understanding deeply. Your past trained your present, not your ideas, not your goals, your nervous system. It learned through experience, not logic. And experience leaves deep marks. Some people learn to fight. They push back. They control. They become sharp. They believe strength means force. Under pressure, they tighten and attack the problem, sometimes attacking people instead. Some people learn to flee. They avoid. They delay. They disappear. They believe safety lives in distance. Under pressure, they lose focus and escape into comfort. Some people learn to freeze. They go quiet. They stop moving. They wait. They believe invisibility equals safety. Under pressure, they lose momentum and confidence. None of these are failures. They are strategies, old ones, outdated ones, but still active. The problem is not that these reactions exist. The problem is that they run automatically. You do not choose them. They choose you. And when they do, you feel powerless. Pressure steals authority because it steals awareness. When your system reacts, you identify with the reaction. You say, "This is just how I am." But that is not true. This is how you were trained. Stress compresses time. Everything feels urgent. Everything feels heavy. You rush decisions or avoid them. You say things you regret or say nothing at all. Later, when the pressure fades, clarity returns, and you wonder why you acted that way. This gap between who you are under pressure and who you are at rest creates shame. You judge yourself. You promise to do better next time, but next time arrives and the pattern repeats. This is the loop. Pressure, reaction, regret, promise, repeat. Breaking this loop does not start with willpower. Willpower disappears under stress. Breaking the loop starts with understanding. Once you see the mechanism, responsibility changes meaning. Responsibility is not blame, it is ownership of the process. You stop asking, "What is wrong with me?" and start asking, "What is my system trying to do?" Your breakdowns are not proof of weakness. They are signals, messages. They show you exactly where training is needed. If pressure makes you angry, it shows you where control feels unsafe. If pressure makes you avoid, it shows you where fear still lives. If pressure makes you freeze, it shows you where confidence needs support. This is power, because signals can be read, and what can be read can be changed. You are not meant to erase reactions. You are meant to slow them down, to create space between trigger and response. That space is where authority lives. Trained stability does not mean pressure disappears. It means pressure no longer hijacks you. You feel it fully, but it does not decide for you. This is where responsibility becomes freedom. You stop seeing reactions as destiny. You see them as data, useful, clear, honest. When a breakdown happens, instead of shame, you bring curiosity. What did my body feel? Where did it tighten? What did it expect? This awareness weakens the automatic response. Each time you notice without judgment, you interrupt the pattern slowly, quietly, but powerfully. Pressure once ruled you because it was misunderstood. Now it becomes your teacher. Each reaction points to a lesson. Each lesson builds capacity. You are not broken under pressure. You are unfinished, and unfinished things can be trained. This chapter ends where control begins, with responsibility that does not punish, but prepares, with awareness that replaces confusion, with the understanding that your reactions are not the enemy, they are the map. In the next step, you will learn why your nervous system behaves this way and why it is not trying to destroy you. It is trying to protect you. And once you understand that, real calm becomes possible. Chapter 2. The nervous system is not your enemy. Your nervous system is not trying to ruin your life. It is trying to save it. Every fast heartbeat, every tight chest, every rush of fear has one purpose: protection. Long before you learn words, your body learned survival. It learned to react faster than thought, and it kept you alive. What feels like sabotage is actually loyalty. Your system stayed awake when danger was possible. It learned patterns from stress, pain, and uncertainty. It learned when to brace, when to escape, when to shut down. It did not ask if the threat was real. It asked if it felt familiar. The problem is not that your nervous system protects you. The problem is that it never learned when to stop. The alarm stayed on. The guard never rested. So now normal pressure feels like danger. Normal effort feels like threat. Your body reacts as if the past is still happening. You think fear means weakness, but fear is information. You think pain means failure, but pain is communication. Your body is always speaking. The question is whether you listen or fight. When you fight your nervous system, it fights back. You try to force calm. You tell yourself to relax. You shame your reactions. This only teaches your system one thing: the world is not safe, even inside you. So it tightens more. It reacts faster. It trusts you less. Alliance begins with respect. You stop treating your body like an enemy and start seeing it as a system. Systems can be trained. Systems can be updated. Systems respond to consistency, not force. Your nervous system does not understand goals. It understands signals: breath, movement, tension, tone, safety. When these signals change, the system changes. This is where power begins. You realize you are not broken. You are running old software, and old software can be rewritten. Fear does not mean stop. Fear means pay attention. Pain does not mean quit. Pain means something needs adjustment. When you learn this difference, panic loses its authority. There is danger and there is discomfort. Danger threatens life. Discomfort threatens comfort. Your nervous system often confuses the two. A hard conversation feels like danger. Failure feels like danger. Being seen feels like danger. But they are not. They are growth signals. Your system reacts because it does not know the future. It only knows history, and history taught it to stay alert. Training teaches it something new. You are capable. You are present. You can handle this. This does not happen through thinking. It happens through experience. Small moments where you stay instead of escape, where you breathe instead of rush, where you soften instead of tighten. Each time you respond differently, your system updates its belief. The world is not ending. I am safe enough. I can stay calm here. This is how fear becomes feedback instead of command. This is how pain becomes guidance instead of punishment. Your nervous system is loyal, but it is literal. It needs clear signals, gentle repetition, predictable practice. You do not overpower it, you lead it. When pressure rises, you slow the breath. When tension appears, you ground the body. When thoughts race, you anchor attention. These are not tricks. They are messages, messages of safety. Over time, the system listens. It learns trust. And when trust grows, reactions soften. You stop feeling attacked by life. You stop fighting yourself. Energy returns. Focus sharpens. This alliance changes everything. Discipline stops feeling heavy. Calm stops feeling distant. You move from control through force to control through clarity. Your body wants to support you. It wants to conserve energy. It wants to help you focus. But it must believe the environment is safe enough. You teach that belief through action, through presence, through patience. This chapter is the turning point. You stop misunderstanding your biology. You stop blaming your reactions. You begin cooperation. Once you work with your nervous system, pressure becomes usable, not overwhelming, informative. You are not calming down to escape life. You are regulating to engage it fully. In the next step, you will learn how calm itself is trained, not wished for, and how stability becomes a skill you practice, not a mood you hope for. Chapter 3. Calm is a skill, not a personality trait. Calm is not something you are born with. It is something you build. When you see someone steady under pressure, you assume they are lucky. You assume they are naturally strong. But calm is not nature. Calm is training, and believing otherwise keeps you stuck. You tell yourself, that's just not who I am. You believe you are wired to panic, rush, or shut down. But this belief removes responsibility and hope at the same time. If calm were a personality trait, then change would be impossible. But calm is a skill, and skills can be learned. Helplessness grows when you think calm belongs to other people. You watch others stay clear while you feel chaotic. You blame your past. You blame stress. You blame yourself. But self-blame disappears when understanding arrives. Every calm response you admire was practiced, repeated, refined, not once, not twice, hundreds of times. Calm is built the same way strength is built, through consistent load and recovery. Motivation does not create calm. Motivation disappears under pressure. Training remains. When stress hits, you do not rise to motivation. You fall to training. That is the truth most people avoid. You cannot think your way into calm. Thinking speeds up under stress. You must train your way into it, slowly, physically, repeatedly. Calm lives in the body before it lives in the mind. People who stay calm are not less emotional. They are more regulated. Their systems know what to do when pressure arrives. Yours can learn the same. This is where possibility replaces self-blame. Nothing is wrong with you. You were simply never trained. No one taught you how to stay steady when things get hard. So you did what you could. Now you can do better. Not through effort alone, but through structure. Skills demand protocols. Protocols create consistency. Consistency builds trust inside the body. Calm is not passive. It is active control. It is the ability to feel intensity without losing direction. That ability grows with repetition, not intention. Each time you practice slowing your breath, you train calm. Each time you ground your body under stress, you train calm. Each time you stay present instead of escaping, you train calm. Small practices done daily reshape your nervous system. They teach it a new rule. Pressure does not mean danger. Effort does not mean harm. At first, calm feels unnatural. Your system resists. It prefers old habits. This is normal. New skills always feel awkward before they feel natural. Do not wait to feel calm to practice. Practice to become calm. This is the shift that changes everything. Discipline here is gentle but firm. You show up even when it feels useless, especially then. Because repetition works even when belief is weak. Over time, responses change. Pauses appear. Space opens. You notice reactions before they take over. That space is skill taking root. Calm becomes familiar. Not because life is easier, but because you are stronger, trained, prepared. This chapter ends with readiness. You now know calm can be built. Next, you will learn the exact practices that turn skill into stability. Chapter 4. Breathing, Body, and the Language of Safety. Your body listens before your mind decides. Long before you think, your body reacts. It reads the room, it reads tone, it reads speed, it reads threat, and then it moves. Breath changes, muscles tighten, vision narrows. This happens in seconds, not because you chose it, but because your body speaks a different language. That language is safety. When your body feels unsafe, calm is impossible. Focus disappears. Discipline collapses. No amount of positive thinking can override a body that believes danger is near. This is why control must become physical, not just mental. Most people try to calm the mind first. They tell themselves to relax, to stop worrying, to think clearly. But the mind follows the body, not the other way around. When the body softens, the mind follows. When the body stays tense, the mind stays loud. Breathing is the fastest message you can send to your nervous system. Shallow, fast breathing tells your body to prepare for threat. Slow, deep breathing tells it to stand down. This is not philosophy. This is biology. Under pressure, most people breathe high in the chest, short, quick, panicked. This kind of breathing feeds fear. It keeps the system alert. It says something is wrong. Deliberate breathing says the opposite. Long exhales, gentle inhales, rhythm over speed. Each slow breath tells your body, I am here. I am safe enough. I can handle this. At first it feels strange. Your body may resist. That is normal. You are changing a habit. Habits push back before they release. Posture matters more than you think. A collapsed body signals defeat. A tense body signals threat. A grounded body signals stability. Feet firm, spine tall, shoulders relaxed. This posture is not about appearance. It is communication. When you ground your body, you anchor attention. You stop floating in worry. You return to the present. The present is where control lives. Your senses also speak safety. What you see, what you hear, what you feel. When stress rises, your senses scatter. You lose detail. You miss information. Grounding brings them back. Feel your feet. Notice pressure. Name what you see around you. Listen to sound without judging it. These simple acts bring coherence back to the system. This is how chaos turns into order, not by force but by clarity. Control becomes tangible here, not abstract, physical, repeatable. You do not wait for calm. You create it through action. Each tool is simple. That is why it works. Complexity increases stress. Simplicity restores balance. Breath, body, senses. These are your anchors under pressure. Practice them when life is calm, so they are available when life is hard. Skills built in peace perform in pressure. At first you will forget. That is fine. Remembering again is training. Each return strengthens the pathway. Over time, your body learns a new pattern. Pressure arrives, you breathe, you ground, you stay present. The system listens. This is not avoidance. You still feel intensity, but it no longer controls you. Consistency is the bridge. Tools used once are tricks. Tools used daily become skills. As pressure becomes real, you bring these practices with you. In conversations, in decisions, in moments of doubt, your body begins to trust you. And when trust grows, calm becomes faster, more natural, more reliable. This is how regulation moves from theory to life, from tools to habits, from effort to identity. The next chapter will teach you how to use these skills under stress, not away from it. Chapter 5. Training under stress, not avoiding it. Avoidance feels safe, but it keeps you weak. Every time you escape pressure, your nervous system learns one lesson. This was too much. Next time, react faster, stronger, louder. Avoidance does not calm you, it makes you fragile. Relief is not recovery. Short-term comfort steals long-term strength. When you avoid stress, your world becomes smaller. You protect yourself, but you also limit yourself. The line between danger and discomfort fades, and everything starts to feel heavy. Calm is not built in silence alone. It is built inside tension. Pressure is not the enemy. Pressure is the gym. In the gym, muscles grow because they face resistance. Nervous systems grow the same way. Not through overwhelm, but through controlled exposure. Just enough stress to adapt. Just enough recovery to learn safety. Most people wait for stress to disappear before they act. That moment never comes. Life does not pause so you can feel ready. If you wait for calm before facing pressure, you stay trapped. Training under stress means choosing discomfort on purpose. Small doses, clear limits. You step toward what feels hard, but you do not drown in it. You stay present, you regulate, you recover. At first, stress feels loud. Your body reacts, breath tightens, thoughts race. This is not failure. This is information. Your system is learning the edge of its capacity. You stay there briefly. You breathe. You ground. You remind your body that you are safe enough. Then you step back. You rest. You recover. Recovery is where learning happens. When your system feels stress and, without harm, it updates its belief. That was intense but survivable. Next time I can handle more. This is how resilience grows. Not through force, through repetition. Weakness is not something to hide. Weakness is a signal of where adaptation can happen. Every shaky moment points to future strength. Avoidance teaches fear to grow. Exposure teaches fear to listen. You do not throw yourself into chaos. You choose your training ground. A difficult conversation, focused work without distraction, staying present when emotions rise. These are controlled challenges. Each challenge is a rep. Each regulated breath is form. Each recovery is rest. Over time, the same stress feels smaller. Your reactions slow. Your confidence grows. Not because stress disappeared, but because your capacity expanded. This is the shift from short-term relief to long-term resilience. You stop asking, how do I feel better now? And start asking, how do I become stronger over time? Strength feels different here. It is quiet, stable, reliable. You trust yourself under pressure because you have trained there before. Stress stops being a threat and becomes a signal to breathe, to ground, to apply skill. You no longer run from discomfort, you use it, you learn from it. Training under stress builds authority. You know you can stay present when things are hard. That knowledge changes how you move through life. Pressure no longer surprises you, it activates you. This chapter closes with a new rule. Do not avoid what you want to master. Train inside it, slowly, consistently, with respect. In the next chapter, you will learn how focus and discipline protect this strength, so calm does not leak away when life gets noisy. Chapter 6, Focus, Discipline, and Emotional Containment. Calm collapses when focus fractures. You can breathe well, you can ground your body, but if your attention is scattered, pressure will leak back in. Focus is the container. Without it, calm spills everywhere. Your nervous system follows what you attend to. When your attention jumps, your system jumps. When your attention stays, your system settles. This is why distraction feels exhausting. It pulls your body in many directions at once. Noise is not just sound. Noise is information without order. Messages, thoughts, worries, expectations. When everything feels important, nothing feels controllable. Your energy drains through reaction. Discipline is not force, it is direction. It tells your attention where to go and where not to go. It protects your calm by limiting input. Scattered reactions feel busy but weak. You respond to everything and control nothing. Contained power feels quiet but strong. You choose where to place your energy. Emotional containment does not mean suppression. It means holding emotion without letting it spill into action too fast. You feel anger without attacking. You feel fear without escaping. You feel stress without rushing. This is a skill. And like all skills, it grows with practice. Focus begins with subtraction, less noise, fewer tabs open, fewer impulses followed. Each no protects a deeper yes. When your attention stays on one task, your nervous system relaxes. It knows where to aim. It knows what matters now. Discipline becomes a form of safety. Predictable routines, clear boundaries, simple priorities. These reduce internal conflict. Contained people move with intention. They do not waste energy explaining, reacting, defending. They conserve power. This becomes a competitive advantage. While others panic, you stay present. While others rush, you remain precise. Calm becomes automatic when focus is trained. You no longer need effort to stay steady. It becomes your default. This chapter moves you toward identity. You are becoming someone who holds pressure without leaking energy. Someone whose calm is contained, directed, and reliable. In the next step, this identity solidifies. Calm is no longer something you practice. It is who you are under pressure. Chapter 7, Identity Shift, from Reactor to Regulator. Repetition shapes identity, not words, not promises. What you do again and again decides who you become. At first, calm was something you practice, something you remembered when pressure hit. Now it starts to appear without effort. This is the shift. Calm is no longer an action. It is a pattern. You used to react quickly, automatically. Pressure arrived and your body decided for you. Your voice changed. Your thoughts rushed. You felt smaller than the moment. That was the old identity, not weak, untrained. Now something different happens. Pressure arrives and you notice it. You feel it in the body, but it does not own you. You pause, you breathe, you stay present. This pause is power. This pause is proof. Self-trust grows here, not because life is easy, but because your response is reliable. You trust yourself under stress. That trust replaces doubt. The old self questioned everything. Why am I like this? Why can't I stay calm? The new self asks better questions. What is needed now? How do I respond with clarity? Reactivity seeks relief. Regulation seeks alignment. Relief runs away from discomfort. Alignment stays with purpose. Pressure no longer exposes weakness. It confirms strength. Each hard moment becomes evidence. You have been here before. You know what to do. This identity is built quietly. No announcement, no applause, just consistency. You begin to move differently. You listen more. You speak with intention. You choose response over reaction. People feel it, even if they cannot explain it. This is authority without force, calm without distance, strength without noise. The regulator does not suppress emotion. They contain it. Emotion becomes fuel, not fire. Anger sharpens focus. Fear increases awareness. Stress becomes signal. You stop fighting yourself. That alone frees energy. Energy returns to action, to creation, to leadership. The old identity lived in apology. explaining reactions, fixing damage. The new identity lives in presence. There is less to fix because there is less leakage. Calm becomes your baseline, not because nothing affects you, but because you affect how things land. This is not perfection. You still slip, but recovery is fast. You return to center quickly. That speed matters more than never falling. Identity hardens through repetition. Each regulated response strengthens the next. Each calm moment reinforces belief. You begin to see yourself clearly. Someone who can handle pressure, someone who can stay grounded in chaos. This chapter closes the internal shift. Next comes integration. Calm moves into work, relationships, decisions. Everywhere you go, regulation follows. You are no longer reacting to life. You are regulating within it. Chapter 8. Calm under fire, applying it everywhere. Calm is only real when it travels with you. It is easy to feel steady in quiet moments. It is easy to breathe when nothing is asked of you. But life does not test you in silence. It tests you in noise, conflict, failure, and fatigue. This is where calm must prove itself. Work brings pressure, deadlines, expectations, judgment. When stress rises, old habits try to return. Rushing, defending, overthinking. This is where regulation becomes practical. You pause before replying. You breathe before deciding. You choose clarity over speed. That choice protects your energy. In conflict, emotions rise fast. Words sharpen. Egos wake up. Emotional leakage spills into tone, posture, silence. Calm under fire means staying grounded while others shake. You listen without absorbing chaos. You speak without attacking. Presence becomes strength. Failure tests identity. Mistakes trigger shame. The old pattern was collapse or escape. Now regulation changes the story. You feel disappointment without drowning in it. You study the lesson instead of judging yourself. Calm keeps learning alive. Fatigue is the quiet test. When you are tired, regulation feels harder. Focus slips. Patience thins. This is where consistency matters most. You lower demands, not standards. You rest without guilt. You protect the system you trained. Calm becomes portable here. It moves from practice to lifestyle. You carry it into meetings, conversations, decisions. It does not disappear when life gets loud. Grounded presence replaces emotional leakage. You stop spilling stress onto others. You stop carrying what is not yours. This alone changes relationships. Leadership grows from regulation. People trust those who stay steady, not perfect, present. Calm creates safety. Safety creates influence. You begin to respond instead of react everywhere you go. Calm becomes reliable. This reliability prepares you for mastery. Final chapter, the unshakable nervous system. You have arrived somewhere different now. Not at the end of pressure, but at the end of being ruled by it. Pressure still exists. Life still demands. Problems still appear. But something inside you has changed. You feel pressure, yet you remain in command. Calm no longer feels fragile. It feels grounded, reliable, yours. You remember when calm felt like effort, when every moment of control required force, when one surprise could pull you back into chaos. That version of you was trying to manage stress without a trained system. Now your system knows what to do. It has learned through repetition, patience, and respect. An unshakable nervous system does not mean you feel nothing. It means feelings move through you without taking over. Stress passes without staying. Fear appears without deciding. Emotion becomes energy, not interference. You notice it in small moments. a pause before reacting, a steady breath in difficulty, a clear decision under weight. These moments are quiet, but they define mastery. Ownership lives here. You no longer blame pressure. You no longer fear intensity. You understand your system. You work with it. You trust it. That trust creates freedom. Discipline feels different now. It is not harsh. It is supportive. You protect your focus because it protects your calm. You choose routines because they stabilize your energy. You respect limits because limits keep you strong. Freedom is not escape. Freedom is capacity. The ability to stay present no matter what appears. The ability to respond instead of react. This is real independence. Pressure becomes leverage. It sharpens attention. It clarifies priorities. It reveals strength instead of weakness. You use it to grow instead of shrink. You stand as someone regulated, focused, reliable. Calm is no longer a goal. It is your baseline. This is not a peak. It is a foundation. And from here, everything you build stands stronger,